Hello, welcome back to REV Endurance Sports, and just a video about my recent accomplishment. Now today is May 26th, so it's a little bit old. I think it happened, let's see what the date is, April the 8th. So about a month and a half ago, maybe more. But I went over 100,000 miles since being on Strava. And I thought it was an interesting thing to look at because, I've been on Strava since like midway of 2012. So like 2013 was the first full year. But I've done 100,000 miles, which is, I guess, 162,000 kilometers. But not everything, I didn't record everything because, being an ultra cyclist, 200 milers and stuff like that, just Garmin units and, Wahoo units, whatever, just didn't have the battery life to do or to record, these 500 milers that I was doing, 200 milers that I was doing and stuff. So there's a ton of stuff that hasn't been recorded. But anyway, 100,000 that is documented on Strava. And as they say, if it's not on Strava, it didn't happen, right? So I'll take you through a little bit of my stats, and then you can, follow me on Strava and see the kind of stuff that I do. So this was the ride that did it, and it was a Saturday, April the 8th. I needed 117 miles. I did 132 that day, with 10,000 feet of climbing. And, I used to do a Saturday ride, every Saturday do, 10,000 feet of climbing. Just haven't been doing it as much. I was riding the Ritchie. I've been riding the Ritchie a lot, trying to get my setup for this would have been before my 600K of April 22nd. So 600K, 378 miles. There's a video, 2 videos on that. But that was the ride. And then let's look at my data in general. So if you look here, I average about 2 to 3 rides a week. I don't get a chance to ride that much because, I run a business. And, but anyway, about 2 to 3 times a week, I ride anywhere between, 12 to about 16 hours or so. It just depends. So far this year, I've only ridden 54 times, but I have 4,200 miles for the year. And the gain has not been important. So let's talk in general. Generally speaking, I climb 1 million feet per year. So like if we look at 2022, that was a year that 1 million feet of climbing just did not matter at all because I was doing other things. 21, there's 1 million feet, and 2020 was pandemic, but my shop was completely so busy. 2019, there's 1 million feet of gain. So I average about 10,000 miles per year, about 1 million feet of gain. Let's see, what about 2018? I can't remember that far back. Yep, 2018, 1 million feet of gain as well, 197 rides, and so on and so forth. So let's go back to 2023. Now this year, because I've been doing brevets, which are unsupported distance events, the climbing isn't as significant on those events. So it's all been about keeping or doing time in the saddle. So if we go to the all-time, and this is an interesting thing. So you can do the division there of 4,200 miles, 54 rides. That comes out to pretty close to 80 miles per ride average, but there are some shorter weekday rides. Okay, so lifetime, 2,100 rides that are actually documented on Strava. Then there is the distance of 101,000 miles. Now the next goal that's coming up is hitting 10 million feet of climbing since I've been on Strava. Like I said, halfway through 2012, and then 2013 was the first full year. So if I go here, this will be interesting because I don't remember when I started logging stuff on. If we go here to 2012, yeah, so hardly any riding that was documented in 2012. So again, you know, and for a while I was also very well supported or sponsored by Polar, and Polar was a barometric pressure device and not a GPS device. So a lot of my rides were on Polar because, of course, they were sponsoring me. Okay, anyway, so that's all for today. Just wanted to show you that I went over 100,000 miles on Strava, documented anyway. And the one thing that I think, the reason I want to talk about that is because when I evaluate products, tires, wheels, bikes, tubeless, when someone says to me, oh, I haven't had a flat in 2 years or 3 years. And then I ask, well, how much do you ride? And they're like, oh, 3,000 miles a year, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000. It's not enough miles to experience enough things going wrong. So when you ride 9, 10, 12,000 miles, some people within our crew, 12, 13,000 miles, you get to see wear and tear. You get to see more things happen. Not to mention I'm in a shop environment as well, so I see a lot there too. But when I say I've seen so many things go wrong, it's also because I ride 10,000, climb 1,000,000 feet, and I tell you that, disc brakes aren't necessary when someone says, oh, but I climb, when I go to, yeah, we have steep climbs here. Ring brakes are great. Okay. Anyway, that's all for today. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you up the road.